YouTube. Where's the Rumble thing? Start streaming. Yes. Why do I not hear the music? Okay, that's weird. Anyway, hello, welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened today throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with, we have November 11th today, very historical day. I've just been joined by...
Oh, sorry, the Golden Loon.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like we might have an error with the desktop audio here. So yeah, we might have to hotfix that here in a minute. But for the meantime, let me take us in. Starting us off in the year 308, the Congress of Carnuntum, attempting to keep peace within the Roman Empire, the leaders of the Tetrarchy declared Maxentius and Lactantius to be Augusti, while rivaling contender Constantine I was declared Caesar of Britain and Gaul. We have a discrepancy here because from my other source, it says here, same year, 308, at Carnuntum, Emperor Emeritus Diocletian conferred with Gaius Augustus of the East and Maximianus, the recently returned former Augustus of the West, in an attempt to end the civil wars of the Tetrarchy. So it's not really a discrepancy, just more information that I don't think I actually added into the entire article, but those two were actually more like kind of more not similar than they were similar. I mean, like they had some basis, as in the people involved, but two different actions. Glass of milk. I don't see you drinking that too often.
No, very tasty.
Yeah, milk is delicious. So, moving on up here to 725, English pilgrim Willibald, later named Saint Willibald, arrived in Jerusalem, one of the first known Europeans to visit the Holy Land. All right.
Okay.
Cool. 887, the end of the Carolingian Empire occurred, in which Charles III resigned as emperor after a revolt led by his nephew Arnulf. The empire was then split up. Oh, all right. Off of main source here, 1028, Constantine VIII died, ending his uninterrupted reign as emperor or co-emperor of the Byzantine Empire of 66 years. It's a pretty long reign.
Constantine is a well-known name in history. Is that where it's originating from, right there?
I believe so. Like the Constantine dynasty. This is Constantine VIII. So there were 7 other ones before him, and that doesn't even necessarily mean linearly. Because if you look at English and French nobility, there's Louis the First, Henry the Third, Louis the Second, William the First. They're all broken up. So. And that could have been the same thing, for Constantine's and such. I'm not entirely sure. But
yeah, it's got to be the Constantine dynasty. That's what's well known.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at. I couldn't play Constantine. I just know it's in history.
Well, I mean, you can't think of Constantinople without Constantine.
True.
True. So, and that was the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire, the one that outlasted the Western. After the Gaulish invasion and the collapse and everything. That's kind of interesting as a historian looking at the history of Rome and then looking at the United States. It's like, gee, we've been here before. Not good. 1158, Emperor Frederick I Barbarossa declared himself ruler of North Italy, and we've spoken about this guy several times. I'm so glad
when someone declares themselves.
I know, gee.
Now, who's going to come up here and dispute me, kind of thing?
Yeah. 1208, Otto IV, nephew of Richard the Lionheart of England, was elected Holy Roman Emperor at Frankfurt.
We've made movies of Richard the Lionheart.
Yes, we have. Actually, like the famous Disney cartoon with the animal people, Robin Hood.
Oh yeah.
When he was a fox
and
all that stuff. That's like the tale of Robin Hood, in whatever the king's name was, like King John, I think. But that's actually based off of historical events. Like there wasn't really a Robin Hood, maybe there was, I'm not sure, but there was a King John, and he did overimpose taxes and abuse his power because he was the brother of Richard the Lionheart, and as we know, Richard the Lionheart left for the Crusades. He had to appoint somebody to keep things going, and that somebody was King John, And remember at the end of that movie, the big lion guy came out, that's Richard the Lionheart coming home from the Crusades.
Ah, okay.
Like, what have you done to my land, you idiot? You know, like.
But I don't think he was actually king, wasn't he? He was acting king, so he was.
He was acting king.
So he was called something else. And I'm going by the movie, so I accurate. But it doesn't seem to me that he was king.
King Regent, I guess. You know, if we're talking about King John, like he's.
It wasn't a prince, but it was something like that,
or
an office name, you know, a utility name. I can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting rabbit hole of thought. You know, if anybody wants to contribute in the comment section, you know, to continue that conversation, I got to keep going here though. 1215, the Fourth Council, also known as the 12th Ecumenical Council of the Lateran, met in Rome, defining the doctrine of transubstantiation, the process by which bread and wine are, by that doctrine, said to transform into the body and blood of Christ. You know, so communion.
Yeah.
And so, as the joke goes, Jesus put down a loaf of bread on the table, said, "This is my body." Jesus put down a bottle of wine. "This is my blood." Jesus grabbed a bottle of mayonnaise. "Hold it right there, Jesus." No. 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 No.
Wow.
1400, Battle of Aleppo. Timur and his army defeated the forces of Sultan Faraj, Mameluke ruler of Egypt. 20,000 people reportedly were massacred, and a pyramid of their skulls were built. That's some crazy, like...
Pyramid of skulls. Okay.
Like that's like, you know, out of like a comic book or something. Like, but that stuff actually happens. So like, we have a documented evidence here of a pyramid of skulls. Skulls for the skull throne, blood for the blood god. Corn killers not for whose blood is spilled as long blood is spilled. Warhammer 40k. So.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Not even when you clarify.
Heretic. 1493, explorer Christopher Columbus sighted the island of Saba in the Leeward Islands, but did not land. So at least he sighted it and such.
Yeah. Treaty
of Granada, Louis XII of France and Ferdinand II of Aragon agreed to divide the kingdom of Naples between them. All right. 1503, Julius II was elected pope and ruled until his death in 1513, becoming one of the most powerful popes of the Renaissance. Wow, so he was only there for 10 years, 1503 till 1513?
Yeah.
So, becoming one of the most powerful popes in the Renaissance in that short stint. Man, he must have been some crazy pope, you know? I mean, the Renaissance was what, 100 years or so?
I have no idea. Long time is all I know.
How long was the Renaissance? I mean, how long was the Renaissance? Let's see. About the European Renaissance for the 15th and 16th centuries. For the earlier European Renaissance, see Renaissance of the 12th century. So, you know, roughly about a century if you want to really go back. As it said, early Renaissance, 12th century. So, 400 years, roughly.
Yeah.
You know?
Depending what you want to talk about.
If you want to fully encompass the entire broad spectrum there. Oh, wait. I think I know what the problem is. Hold on a second. Wait. No. That's not the problem here. That's weird.
So something's not recording or what?
Well, it's not picking it up here. Hold on a second. Welcome. How you doing?
Doing good.
Good. Let's see if this works. I'm having some slight audio. That's not it. Headset, earphone, no speakers, USB audio device. I'm having some issues with the audio settings on both of my streaming things here. Desktop audio, no. Why is it not audio monitoring? Monitor mute and output. Will this work? No. I don't know what's going on. It's not picking up my desktop. Oh wait. Now it is? Can you say something?
Ew. Yep.
Huh. That's weird. It's not... Okay, try now.
Ew.
No. It's not working. Well, I don't know what's going on with this stupid thing.
Show if you don't have audio.
So plug in?
Yeah, well, I can hear him.
Very true.
Like,
Hello.
So you're not transmitting sound?
Yeah, no, on both of the things, it's not working. Like, hold on a second. Mixer, desktop audio, display capture.
Go on your Windows.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Go on your Windows
Open
settings.
sound settings. Oh, wait a minute. Can you say something?
Hello.
Alright, let's see here. Speakers, is that working? No, is that working? No. I don't know what the heck is going on. It's not picking up on either OBS or Streamlabs. VF interface, Realtek. Okay, it's working that.
I heard that.
USB.
Complete your audio.
Realtek. So it's okay. It's that setting. Oh, there. Hold on a second. I think it was working. Say something.
Oh.
Okay, it's picking you up there. All right, that's good. Whoops. Whoa. I did something weird on my other monitor. This one here. Okay. So is it working now? Yes. Now it's working. Okay. I fixed it. All right. I hope I fixed it. So. All right, now let's get back onto the show here. What do we got in 16? Well, before that, 1572, off of being source. Tycho Brahe observed the supernova SN 1572. That is a very unoriginal name, SN supernova 1572. He observed a supernova. Yeah, it's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, but now we get to talk about 1620.
1620 Mayflower Compact is signed by pilgrims at Cape Cod, establishing the first framework of government in the territory that is now the USA.
It says new style November 21st, or maybe that's a different NS. But see, here's the weird thing. I don't know why they didn't put it in chronological order, but what do we got here?
1620 Mayflower pilgrims make the first landing in America, Providence Harbor, Massachusetts.
So,
Okay, so that should be first.
yeah, I know, right? Like, because I had them combined into one article here, but now that King's back, I wanted him to read it.
By the way, how you doing, King?
Yeah.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing better. So that's
good.
always
Good.
good.
Yeah. But yeah, like, this source is like, done this a couple of times. Moving on up, what do we got here?
1634, following the pressure from Anglican Bishop John Atherton, the Irish House of Commons passes the Act for the punishment for the vice of buggery.
What does that even? What is a vice of buggery? What like Buggery Act of 1533. Okay, well this is not the same thing, but formally an act for the punishment of the vice of buggery. So wow, so 1533 to 1634. Is that what it says? So this is a 99-year-old thing. What the hell is buggery?
Well, they're referring back to something 100 years old, but that's what we're referring to.
Oh my goodness! It was the country's first civil sodomy law.
Anal penetration or bestiality.
Yikes! Yeah. Well, we didn't have to go into that terminology, but yes, such offenses having previously been dealt with by ecclesiastical courts. The term buggery, not defined in the text of the legislation, was later interpreted by the courts to include as you said, yeah, you were reading that. Only this and that, and regardless of the law of the participants, but not oral penetration. So, yikes. Buggery is a serious thing. That is terrifying. Wow.
Yeah.
So we all just learned something new and horrible. Hooray, show. Moving on up to 1640, Thomas Wentworth, Earl of Stratford, impeached by the House of Lords on the evidence of John Pym and imprisoned in the Tower of London. He was later executed. Whoa. That escalated quickly.
Wow.
Yeah. I want to know what he did, but we got to move on up. Like, we're going to run out of time here really quick. 1647, Massachusetts passed the first compulsory school attendance law in the American colonies. I'm all for education, but once you make it a law, then you have to stop and question, why is the state mandating my children to go to state school because the state is keeping me underfunded from having them go to private school. That's a little weird, don't you think? Oh.
I don't get your point there, but go on, yeah.
Well, my point is, the government keeps people in certain like economic levels and such. Not everybody can afford to go to public school. Okay. To private school.
Right.
To private school. So public school, which is of the states, people are mandated by the state to go to the same schools by the same people. That's a little weird. That kind of sounds like company townish, Like, maybe your mind's not as conspiratorial as mine, but anyway, moving on up to 1671, what do we got here?
1671, Dutch States General forbids importation of French wine.
I don't know why, but every time I see that, I read it in the South Park Canadian voice. French wine! I don't know.
1673, Second Battle of Kiełton and Ukraine, Polish Lithuania Commonwealth forces under the command of Jan Sobieski defeat the Ottoman army. In this battle, rockets of Kazimierz Smolensk were successfully used.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
Sweet.
So they were using
yeah, that's the first
missile artillery.
time we used rockets.
I don't think this is the first time, but one of the earlier times, most definitely. This looks like a diagram of like how, man, dude, like look at that. They're still in like middle-aged clothes and they're launching rockets. This was 1675, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
that is incredible.
So fucking crazy.
I know. Yeah. Can you imagine you're out there fighting with swords and boards? Phew, phew, phew.
What the hell is that?
It's a dragon!
Boom!
Oh, we got the hair guy.
Yeah, this is a different hair guy.
1675, German mathematician Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz demonstrates inaugural calculus for the first time to find the area under the graph of function y equals f x.
Integral calculus. If I integral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's
integral.
integral.
Yeah.
Integral. Yeah.
Integral.
Pardon me, but like part of the collage of today's thumbnail right here. This is the calculus on paper, what it would look like if anyone's interested. So that's what he demonstrated. So first time integral calculus, really cool. Moving on up, 1714, a highway in Bronx was laid out, later renamed East 233rd Street. That sounds like,
1714, a highway.
Yeah.
That's surprising. That date and that word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Roads maybe, but highway?
Well, like, highways, because there's freeways. Highways, connect cities and all that stuff. They've been around since forever. Like the Roman days, you take a highway to Rome, because it's a straight path,
Well, a highway is generally a more major road. Our street in front of the house is not a highway.
No, it's a connector street and all that stuff. So, 3 centuries ago here, 1724, Joseph Blake, alias Blueskin, a highwayman known for attacking thief, taker, general, and thief Jonathan Wild at the Old Bailey, was hanged in London. That's a little confusing to follow. I don't know exactly what happened, who killed who, when, what, where, how, but like, it ended up with him getting hanged. And we were just talking about, highways being a term and all that stuff. 1724, a highwayman. And that's somebody who stood by the highway and robbed you and all that stuff. Like, anyone who played WoW, if you ever went to Westfall, the Defias Highwayman, well, this is exactly what he did. 1745, Bonnie Prince Charlie's Jacobite army invaded England in an attempt to restore House of Stuart to the British throne. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We were just talking about highwaymen and all that stuff. You're talking about, terminology of highway and all that stuff. 1724, a highwayman was hanged.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and those are people who stood by the highway and they robbed you and stuff. You know, they're
Okay, so I guess they were the
highwaymen. You know?
major roads were a highway then.
Yeah.
If it was dirt or not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
True enough.
Any connecting streets to major things. I mean, like I learned. I think it was when I was watching TV the other day. I don't watch TV that often, but like it was talking about the Brandenburg Gate, and it's called this such because it's the gates. Because there used to be like walls around every city and all that stuff back in the day, and they had like a gate per city. So like they had the Brandenburg Gate, which led to Brandenburg. They had this other gate, which led to this other city, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was Vienna also has a Brandenburg Gate because it's the gate that leads to Brandenburg.
Okay.
So, and then that's the highway.
Yeah.
1750. What do we got here?
1750, first collegiate secret society of the United States, the FHC Society Flat Hat Club, is formed at Rail Tavern in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Ah, it was becoming the first college fraternity as well. But yeah, the first college secret society. So we've all heard about the Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
And all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Flat Hat Club. It reminds me of the Top Hat Clan. If you remember, like, Steal the Diamond.
Yeah.
So you know about the Top Hat
Yeah.
Clan.
Maybe a flat hat.
Yeah.
Well, like, it's like a top hat, like, with a flat top.
Oh,
like
okay.
a flat hat. Like, and there are flat hats, actually. Well, once again, like, right here, that's a flat hat.
Oh, it is?
Yes. It's
Okay.
it's a hat, and it's flat, like,
Okay.
so...
You're the hat guy, not me.
I am the Hat Man. I haunt everybody's dreams. I'm always in the corner of your eye. 1752. Ooh, this is pretty cool.
There is the military academy opens in Vienna.
All right. I wonder if they're still open. We have 1775 here. This is pretty interesting because this leads up into something crazy 3 years later. But what do we have?
Mohawk military leader Joseph Brant goes to London to solicit more support from the government and to persuade the crown to address past Mohawk land grievances in exchange for their participation as allies in the impending war.
Yeah.
Well, that seemed to work out. And I have more meat on this here from other sources, so if you don't mind, I'll take it. 1778, in what would become known as the Cherry Valley Massacre, British soldiers and loyalists with Iroquois and Seneca Native American forces, so they got their allies, attacked a fort and village in eastern New York during the American Revolutionary War, killing over 40 people, be them civilians or soldiers. So just went in there and just killed everybody.
Wow.
Like, oh, not just the men, but the women and the children. Calm down, Anakin. Quit panicking. I have a planikin. What do we got here in 1790?
1790, chrysanthemums are introduced to England from China.
And I only know the chrysanthemums, that they're a flower, because back in the day...
That's got to be a flower.
Yeah, it is. Back in the day, I had this friend, and I called him Nathaniel Bloomingdale. So then he started calling me Alex Chrysanthemum. I'm just like, what the hell is a chrysanthemum? Like, well, it's a flower. And I'm like, is a Bloomingdale a flower? And I never got an answer. Well, I thought it was just a store, Bloomingdale's.
Yeah, I don't think it's a flower.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
I don't know why. I just thought Nathaniel Bloomingdale. It just, it rolled off the tongue well. It sounds like something regal. I don't know. Anyway, what do we got here in 1805?
1805, Napoleonic Wars, Battle of Durenstein, 8,000 French troops attempt to slow the retreat of vastly superior Russian and Austrian forces.
Dang. So yeah, Napoleon was not doing well in Russia.
No.
1807, Washington Irving's Salmagundi periodical was published, becoming the first to associate the name Gotham with New York City. Hey. And I'm sorry, I had forgotten about this.
Is that it?
No, like Batman, Gotham.
No, but is it a book that he wrote?
Periodical.
Oh, periodical.
So, like, I think it was like a newspaper or something.
Yeah.
So,
a story.
yeah. But I mean, like, you know, Gotham is so obviously
so
Manhattan, New York.
Since 1807, over 200 years.
Yeah. 1811, Cartagena, Colombia, declared independence from Spain. All right, that's pretty cool. In 1813, Dresden surrendered to Allied armies, and that has to be World War I. No, World War I didn't break out till no. What the hell? That's a century too early. I'm stupid. Okay. 1813 here. During the War of 1812, the Battle of Chrysler's Farm, British and Canadian forces defeated a larger U.S. force, causing the states to abandon their St. Lawrence campaign. Now, you know, the one time we actually fought Canadians, we lost.
How about that?
Yeah. And now you're here.
I'm not saying we're invaders.
Occupiers. 1831 here, another off of main source. In Jerusalem, Virginia, this is really, you know, controversial thing here. Nat Turner was hanged after inciting a violent slave uprising.
Whoops.
Yeah, well, Nat Turner, you know, has gone down in history. He was a former slave. I think he was an escaped slave, and he led an uprising, killed a lot of people. So, actually, Alice just joined the show. Alice, do you remember who Nat Turner was?
Kinda. Sort of.
Well, he led a very violent slave revolt and stuff, and, you know, where I can't...
During the Civil War?
Yeah, no, before that. This was in 1831. This is the anniversary of when he was hanged. So...
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
No. Well, you're way off of it.
No.
I'm not sure if you don't want to be on. If you don't want to
Hey,
be on camera,
Papa
that's
Dude.
fine. I'll move it.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, living the dream as always.
There you go.
Anyway, moving on up to 1839, the Virginia Military Institute was founded in Lexington, Virginia. All right.
Let me know if the wind sound is too much, because I'm not muted. Okay?
All right. What do we got here in 1851?
Alvin Clark Patton's telescope.
Woo! Yeah, but didn't Leonardo da Vinci invent the telescope, like, in the 1400s?
That's what I thought, too.
But he didn't.
What about the periscope?
The periscope is something else, but
Well,
operates
you know,
on the same
periscope-
mechanics. It's all mirrors. You know, just
Oh, no,
how-
yeah, periscope. Yeah, periscope is for submarines and such things. And
Yes.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wrong term. I was trying to say it like the, like, you know, the eyeglass thing that people look for. With like, no, the eyeglass that you look through to, like,
spyglass.
like back in the pirate days.
The spyglass.
Yes, spyglass. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that.
That's all right. Off of main source here, 1855, a powerful earthquake occurred in Edo, Japan, causing considerable damage in the Kanto region from the shaking and subsequent fires. Between 7,000 to 10,000 people died, with 14,000 buildings gone. Jeez.
Ooh.
That's major.
Yeah. Well, it's you know, Japan. They get a lot of quakes there. You know, within the tsunamis.
Big time.
You know.
Well, they're part of the Ring of Fire.
Yep.
So
Yes.
yeah.
I'm in there too. I'm
Yeah,
just on
we
the
are.
other side.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
I pray for you guys every day.
Yeah. What do we got here?
Well, you have in 1864, Sherman's troops destroy Rome, Georgia.
I'm learning all sorts of things. You know, there's an East Palestine in Ohio. There's a Jerusalem out here somewhere. There's a Rome in Georgia. There's a Paris in
California.
California, and there's also one in Texas. There's a what's it called? Memphis in Tennessee, and Memphis, was in Egypt. Is one of the more famous ancient Egyptian cities.
Oh, okay.
Memphis, crazy. And I wonder if that was part of Sherman's March to the Sea there.
My friend was live doing a live stream.
Yeah. What do we got here in 1865?
Who?
It's only you and I now, Alice. Well, with Luke.
Oh, okay, so
vanished.
all right. So in 1865, we have Mary Edward Walker, the first U.S. Army female surgeon awarded the Medal of Honor.
Wow.
The first female to be awarded the Medal of Honor, David, was in 1865 by a surgeon.
See, this is back when there was such a thing as a glass ceiling, and women had to bust their ass 10 times harder to get recognized. So she probably went in there and she was a freaking BAMF, BAMF, badass mother trucker, and that's why she was awarded the Medal of Honor. Like, they had to fight.
Well, leave it to a war to break the ceiling.
Yeah, this is Civil War. Yeah, that's right, 1865. Whoops. Did the wrong thing there.
Oh, these things do happen.
Yeah. We got another 65 here.
Sorry for the sound of trucks going by.
No, that's all right. Anyway, what do we got here?
What we have here in 1865 as well, Thomas William Robertson's play Society premieres in London, England. Woohoo!
We live in a society.
That's still good.
1865 as well, the Treaty of Sinsula was signed, in which Bhutan ceded the areas east of the Teesta River to the British East India Company. And that's how Britain continued their, conquering of the entire, world, or up to 25% of the landmass, is not through military conquest, but through, company and economical acquisitions,
Yeah.
So, and because the government is not directly involved, they're not,
Wash their hands.
Yeah. 1868, the first American amateur track and field met in New York City, or meet. They had their meet, their race or whatever.
What happened today in history.
1868, during the War of the Triple Alliance, Allied victory in the Battle of Vevey left 3,000 Paraguayan soldiers dead, with an additional 600 wounded, and the road to Asuncion open. They're on their way to another battle there.
The Allies win the Battle of Alais?
Yep. 1869, the Victorian Aboriginal Protection Act was enacted in Australia, giving the government control of Indigenous people's wages, their terms of employment, where they could live, and of their children, effectively leading to the stolen generations.
Whoa.
Freaking awful.
Oh, I remember talking about this.
Disgusting, deplorable, despicable, evil, beyond human comprehension. What the Australian government did to the Aborigines was just inhuman.
Dude.
So...
It was bad.
The stolen generations,
have you ever seen the movie Australia?
Also known as the stolen children, were the children of Australia Aborigines and Torres Strait Islanders descendants who were removed from their families by the Australian federal and state government agencies and church missions under acts of their respective parliaments. The removals of these, referred to as half-caste children, were conducted in the period between approximately 1905 and 1967, although in some places mixed-race children were still being taken into the 1970s. So they were the government was just taking their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever seen the movie Australia? That actually depicts a little bit about the stolen children, and where finally, the Prime Minister finally, apologized, I think, in, the 90s or something like that. For that?
Why do you ever make up? You don't. I've never seen that movie, though. The movie was Australia.
No, it's actually a good, decent movie. It has Nicole Kidman and Hugh Jackman in it, but it's just kind of a light version of what we really have.
We gotta keep going, Alice. We can't sit here and talk for 75 minutes after every single article. 1880.
I know.
Australian bush wrangler and outlaw Ned Kelly was hanged at Melbourne Gaol. So the gang leader and outlaw Ned Kelly.
Oh, that happened.
1887, 4 convicted anarchists, August Spies, Albert Parsons, Adolf Fleischer, and George Engel, were executed due to their involvement in the Haymarket Affair, now known today as the Anarchist Haymarket Martyrs. So, what was the Haymarket Affair? Let's look that up here really quick. Let's see here.
Haymarket Martyr.
Haymarket Affair. Here we go. Also known as the Haymarket Massacre, the Haymarket Riot, the Haymarket Square Riot, or the Haymarket Incident. God, pick a name, guys. Was the aftermath of a bombing that took place at a labor demonstration on May 4th, 1886 at Haymarket Square in Chicago, Illinois. The rally began peacefully in support of workers striking for an 8-hour workday. The day after the events at the McCormick Harvesting Machine Company, during which one person was killed and many workers injured. An unknown person threw a dynamite bomb at the police as they acted to disperse the meeting, and the bomb blast and ensuing retaliatory gunfire by the police caused the deaths of 7 police officers and at least 4 civilians, with dozens of others wounded. Good Lord. All they wanted was an 8-hour workday, and stupid. Stupid. Like, you know, the amount of times governments do not listen to the people is absurd. You know, ugh. 1889, Washington was admitted as the 42nd state of the United States.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool.
Hoorah, the West Coast.
1890, D. McCree patented the portable fire escape.
D. McCree?
D. McCree, yeah. Really interesting, actually. I looked this up. Do I have it? Yes, I have it right here. You can't see it that well, so let me find the actual image that I used here. Well, these are more modern portable fire escapes, but hold on a second.
So you had a thing of pulleys that you sat on and let yourself down? Is that what I saw?
Kind of, sort of. Hold on a second. Trying to find the actual picture. Yeah, it looks like that here. This is a different picture, but it shows a guy. He's in the harness.
Yeah.
If I can bigger this image here. Here we go. So he's in a harness, and then I guess you just wheel yourself down like a rope or something.
Looks like.
So it's kind of like, I guess, a zip line that goes down, you know, straight down. Or something.
Let's hope you don't zip.
Yeah. 1896, Samuel Paperport Langley's number 6 heavier than air aircraft model flew over 1,500 meters or 5,000 feet. And this was a model of a heavier than aircraft for the concept of heavier than air flight, because at the time all we had were blimps, dirigibles, balloons, you know,
right,
all that stuff. This is the aspect of a powered flight, and it flew. And this is also on our. This is it right here. That model is actually in the Smithsonian right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you can't really see it that well. But you can see it has propellers made of the same material as the wings, in order to provide lift at as little weight as possible. And then, you know, you have a movement, and then you get lift, you know?
Yep.
What's really interesting, though, is I saw, like, a video, like, some YouTuber, like, he took an 8-hour ride in, like, a blimp. It's one of these advertising blimps. Not Goodyear, but they're advertising for something else. But blimps take off like aircraft, because they don't just go straight up, straight down. They have a ballast. But in order to get up, they have to take off like an airplane. They speed up, they get lift, and they go up. And their ballast balance goes up because of the lift.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's really interesting. So, 1896, we got that one. 1905, High Commissioner Prince George declared amnesty for all leaders of the insurrection that had been disturbing Crete during the recent months, but which never gained mass support. So, basically, okay, guys, you had your fun, knock it off. You're not getting support. Obviously, your movement's over. Go home, get a job.
All things must come to an end and be responsible.
Yeah, pretty much. Now that you're back, you want to take a couple here?
Yeah, I might as well. Let me do this here. So we have in 1909, we have the construction of the U.S. Navy base begins at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii.
Oh, wow. Really?
Oh, lordy lord. Really? You made me read that one? Oh, God.
What? Pearl Harbor doesn't happen until next month.
So, yeah.
Oh, well, this is 1909, dude.
What'd you say?
This is 1909.
Right?
Yeah. Well, so I can't math right now either. However, but we have in 1911, many cities of the U.S. Midwest broke their record highs on lows on the same day as a strong cold front rolls through.
That's weird.
Oh, you gotta see the 11-11-11 cold wave. Oh my gosh. Like,
wild.
Oh my god, 11-11, make a wish.
Yeah. Blow out the candles. So.
Yeah, blow your cradles and make a wish. So like a cold front and like a warm front like collided, was it, or two cold fronts?
Well, no, a strong cold front came in and it displaced all the stuff that was there. So then they had record highs and record lows at the same time, unilaterally.
Yep,
Fucking
that sounds
bizarre.
about right. That sounds like where two fronts just collide. You have up and down. Like actually, right now here, and well, I'm not even talking about that right now. Let's hear that here. Let's go on. In 1911, Russia issues an ultimatum to Persia and follows it with an invasion of North Persia to impose political control.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh,
yeah,
yeah.
friggin' Russia. 1918 here, Józef Pilsudski assumed supreme military power in Poland, proclaiming its independence. This is a symbolic first day of Polish independence. All right.
That's
Like,
cool.
Statesman and first marshal. You know, this guy looks reputable. He has a respectable mustache. You know.
Yeah.
18 as well. World War I armistice signed by the Allies in Germany in a railroad car in the forest of Champagne went into effect, and World War I hostilities ended at 11 a.m. The 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The war to end all wars, the Great War, later unfortunately known as World War I, ended.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting, a little tidbit of history, is that later on, you know, to get back, because Hitler was a very vengeful and vindictive man. You know, like, you know, he was very salty about, you know, losing the war and everything. He was in the hospital after mustard gas blinded him, you know, when the armistice was signed. So after Germany took over France, after all that, he hunted down, found that exact same railroad car, put it in the exact same spot, and had the French command sign over.
Oh,
as a big F-U.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The exact same car. Not just the same model. No, the same freaking car. You know? Like, man, you gotta be butthurt, you know, to a whole new level for that.
Yeah.
Holy buckets, man. Like, seriously, it's just insanity. Like, you know the war is over, but you're still gonna do it?
Yeah.
I read the long article there.
He ordered for France, for Paris, France, to be destroyed. He wanted the entire city leveled. Like, that was one of his orders.
Wow.
He wanted the whole thing gone. You know, that's why he did a whole tour of France, and he visited, you know, the Arc de Triomphe, the statue, or the Eiffel Tower. He visited the tomb of Napoleon and everything. And then he's like, okay, I've seen it. Get rid of it all. Wipe them.
Oh, no, now that I've seen it, we don't need it, because I've seen it, you've all seen it.
Well, he wanted
all
dominance.
Right. Anyway, what's our next article?
Yeah, moving on up to 1919, Latvian forces defeated the West Russian Volunteer Army at Riga in the Latvian War of Independence. All right. And we also have another 1919. The industrial workers of the world attacked an Armistice Day parade in Centralia, Washington, ultimately resulting in the deaths of 5 people. And I believe the industrial workers of the world were a socialist or a communist movement, and they attacked a day commemorating the 1-year anniversary of the end of the Great War. What the hell's wrong with them?
Oh.
You know?
I don't know. The world's what's wrong with them, I guess.
Yeah. 1920, Great Britain's monument to her war dead, the Centopath in Whitehall, designed by Edwin Lutyr, is unveiled. All right. And, like, you know, we have our own thing. We're going to be talking about that as well, but that's essentially like the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
No, we got all kinds of monuments.
Well, we're going to be talking, like, a lot of people made monuments of this nature and dedicated them on this date.
Oh.
You know, because we're going to be covering a lot of that here. What I have right here, in 1920, the burials of unknown soldiers took place simultaneously in Westminster Abbey, London, and the Arc de Triomphe in Paris.
Oh.
So in England and Paris, they both simultaneously. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry they had to die,
That is
but
amazing,
you know,
dude.
that is an awesome, you know, final salute to their service. You know, may they always be remembered.
Yeah, may they always be remembered. And you know what? Their service didn't die in vain, because there are people out here who are still fighting for it.
Like us.
Yep.
So.
Yes, like us.
Now, you want to tell us about this one here?
I think I could take a stab at this. In 1921, U.S. President Warren G. Harding dedicates the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at the Arlington Cemetery in Virginia.
Yeah,
There you go.
we've been there.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes, we have. I've been there
Oh,
too.
you have too? Nice.
Actually, I drove by it in the dark, but I saw it. Kind of.
Saying they solved the problem.
But yeah, no, like we were talking yesterday about the.
What did you say?
They did solve it.
Oh no, actually, my neighbor, he actually said they solved the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
I've never heard that.
David, would you like to say it?
They did solve that one soldier, plus the other three. But the other one, that's still up in the air. But they do know the four.
They know.
Except this one.
They know 3 of the 4.
Yeah.
Oh, so they figured them out.
Oh, be darned. I
They
didn't know
figured
that.
3 of the 4 out.
Well, that's
I
awesome.
didn't know that.
Yeah, and by the way, he is a veteran too himself.
Well, thank you for
my
your
name.
service.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is Veterans Day, by the way,
Yeah.
and thank you all
That's
veterans
right,
for
it
your
is.
service.
Yeah. Well, let's continue on because we have more of these things to
Yes,
cover here.
we do. We're only in the 1920s.
Yeah. We got that one. 1923. Oh, this one. 1922. This one here. You want to take this, Alice? Oh, you're muted. 1922. The largest U.S. flag displayed at 150 feet by 90 feet. That is huge. Later expanded in 1939 to 270 feet by 90 feet.
That
So
is huge.
They made it longer or
Yeah.
something. But largest U.S. flag.
My neighbor wants to say something real quickly about the flag.
All right.
Post, Storm, and Garrison. They were the 3 largest flags that I know.
All right. Oh wow, I remember this. That's an old design for the flag here,
Yeah,
with vertical stripes instead of
I've
horizontal.
never seen that.
Yeah, it's one of the more unknown flags. I saw something about it a while ago. I've since forgotten about the exact story and everything. In 1923, here we have the eternal flame was lit for the tomb of the unknown soldier under the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. And 1923, Adolf Hitler was arrested in Munich for high treason for his role in the beer hall putsch. We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
And that's what led him to being in jail or prison or wherever he
Yeah.
went. And then that's where he wrote Mein Kampf.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right.
Yep. 1924, Palace of Legion of Honor dedicated in San Francisco. What? Palace of Legion of Honor? That sounds weird. Like, let's see if I can find this really quick. San Francisco. Oh, ooh, wow. Okay, that is a palace. Look at that thing. What is this? It has like a freaking fancy gazebo.
Oh, that's
Like-
up in San Francisco, right?
Yeah, this is in San Francisco.
Yeah, been there.
Oh, this is
Actually, I remember seeing that where Sean Connery left in the
Yes.
movie
What was
Alcatraz.
that?
He was sitting in that thing, and Nicolas Cage caught him. All you want to do is see his daughter for
Yeah,
one
you're
time
absolutely
after being in
Oh,
prison.
you're talking about The Rock?
Yeah, The Rock.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
The Rock.
I
The
gotta
Rock.
see that movie again.
That was
I
a
haven't
good
s-
movie.
I haven't seen
Oh
that in a
my
while.
gosh.
Yeah.
Movie for you to watch. Anyways, keep on going, dude.
What do we got here?
Oh, what do we have here? 1925, American scientist Robert A. Millikan? Is that what it says? Millikan?
Yeah.
Yeah, he announced his discovery of cosmic rays.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that's pretty cool.
That
Ooh.
is.
1925.
Yeah, it was the industrial era and an era of knowledge again.
Yeah.
All right, so in 1925, the city of Chicago, Illinois, renames Municipal Grant Park Stadium as Soldier Field in honor of U.S. soldiers killed in combat during World War One.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like as I told you, there's a lot
Yeah,
of these articles.
that
a lot
is
of people.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it
That
is.
I tip my hat off to Illinois and Chicago for that one.
Yep.
I'll be with you.
In
Now we know why it's
1925?
called Soldier Field.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
true. Very
dude, that's
good,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
In 1925, Ernest Thalmann, is that Thalmann, becomes chairman of the German KPD. Oh my God, I just want to say KBG.
I know. Yeah. You GK.
Dude, play
My
on
brain's
words.
become
Oh,
alphabet
God.
soup. But yeah, the
Unmute
Secret
myself for a second.
Service. Actually, no. It's the communists. It's the communist German people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. the fascists and the communists were at each other's throats trying to take over Germany, and the fascists won by blaming the Reichstag fire on them. 1925 as well, Louis Armstrong and his Hot Five began their first recording session at OK Records in Chicago.
Oh, man.
Louis Armstrong.
First recording, huh?
Yeah. Awesome. I wonder what it was, what the song was.
I have no idea.
If it's even still around, if it's known, or if they just know that was his first recording, but they don't know what it was. I don't know. 1926, the United States numbered highway system was established when U.S. Route 66 from Chicago, Illinois to Santa Monica, California opened, covering 2,448 miles, or 3,940 kilometers, for those who use the metric system.
Can you imagine? That's 1925?
26.
26.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, we were talking the other week about the Lincoln Highway, the first coast-to-coast, highway.
Okay.
Like paved highway for cars, built for cars.
Okay,
So, and, that was, it wasn't just Chicago, to the west. No, it was New York to the west. Like, it was legit coast-to-coast. What?
Xander, when you said coast to coast, I couldn't help but think, when you said coast to coast, I was thinking about Art Bell.
Oh, I think about Space Ghost.
Oh, that one too. All right, let's get back on track.
1930, patent number US 1781541 was awarded to Albert Einstein and Leo Szilard for their invention of the Einstein refrigerator. He made a refrigerator? Like,
what?
I did not know that. I mean, I knew he worked in the patent office, but I didn't realize he got a patent. Like, wait, that seems a little fishy.
Yeah.
Maybe he stole it.
Dude, he did work in the patent office, and a lot of people say, like, was he a genius or was he a fraud?
Yeah.
Because they're not calling it an ice box.
No, it's a refrigerator.
By ice.
Yeah. No, it's a refrigerator. It shows here a diagram. You can see internal components. That looks like kind of what we have today. All the little valves and pipes and tubes and
I wonder
stuff.
what's done with Freon.
I would say so. Like, wait, what does this say? That says, here's a schematic.
Freya, man.
Animated science. Let's see if this opens up anything. Here we go. Einstein refrigerator. Oh, there's
Albert
a
Einstein.
here.
To ammonia water solution in the generator.
Oh, yeah, so
Moist ammonia gas boils off and flows to the evaporator.
Sounds like he did it
This
with
contains
ammonia.
butane ammonia liquid.
Okay, well, we have butane,
Yeah, we got
ammonia,
a quick
vapor. Yeah, we have ammonia, various stages, hot, cold, liquid, gaseous.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Wow. So, 1931, the cornerstones were laid for the Opera House and Veterans Building in San Francisco, California. All right. 1933, Great Black Blizzard, first of the great dust storms that created the Dust Bowl, ripped through South Dakota. Yeah. Grapes of Wrath, anyone? So, 1934, the Shrine of Remembrance was opened in Melbourne, Australia. Another one of these. This time in Australia. It's pretty cool. 35, Explorer 2 balloon set altitude record of 72,000 feet over South Dakota. Pretty sure that has been broken. Moving on up to 1937, German aircraft Messerschmitt Me-109V-13 flew a new world airspeed record for land planes with piston engines of 610.95 kilometers an hour, which translates to 379.62 miles per hour. Well, let's take a look at this bird, see what it looked like. Let's see. Obviously, it's going to be a prop plane, but oh yeah, one of these. So this was it broke a airspeed record or something. But yeah, this is one of the predominant fighters, in the Luftwaffe. I'm very, just recognize that. Very recognizable to me is what I'm trying to say. 1937 as well, Nobel Prize for Physics was awarded to U.S. citizen Clinton Joseph Davidson and Briton George Paget Thompson, quote, for their experimental discovery of the differentiation of electrons by crystals, end quote. That kind of sounds like what my cousin's working on. Crystalline energy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how he's doing on that.
I wonder too. He doesn't talk to me. 1938, German and Austrian Jews suffered 1 billion mark damage in Nazi whatever. Like, it just says here, Nazi, what? Germany? Like, what? Obviously Germany, but what is this? Like, is this on, like, their entire net's wealth? They got the crystal knocked. I've heard about this. The Night of Broken Glass, also called the November Pogroms, was a pogrom against Jews called out by Nazi parties Sturm
and Schutzstaffel, the SS. Paramilitary forces, along with some participation of the Hitler Youth and German civilians throughout Nazi Germany on 9th through 10th of November in 1938. The German authorities looked on without intervening. The euphemistic name Kristallnacht comes from the shards of broken glass that littered the streets after the windows of Jewish home stores, buildings, and synagogues were smashed. The pretext for the attacks was the assassination. We were talking about this yesterday. This is when it started because there's some German guy in Paris who got assassinated, and then they started the Kristallnacht. So this is part of the Kristallnacht. So that's what they mean. It's property damage. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
1 billion marks worth of property damage.
Could have put that in there. Would have been helpful.
Mark damage. Mark property damage. Yeah, no, like we had to do some like live research to figure that out. 1939, Kate Smith first sung Irving Berlin's "God Bless America."
Really?
Yeah.
Not until 1939.
Yeah. Why does this guy look so much like Mr. Bean? Like, it's kind of weird. 1940, a blizzard struck Midwestern U.S., killing over 100 people. Man, that's a Lady Death article if there ever was one. Too bad her mic's muted. 1940, during World War II, during the Battle of Taranto, the Royal Navy launched an air arm attack, becoming the first all-aircraft ship-to-ship naval attack in history, destroying half the Italian fleet.
Ooh.
So that's the first time in history, 1940.
Whoa.
And it was the Brits who did it. So, like, you know, I used to think that it was the Battle of Midway in 1942. You know, that was the first, you know, but I guess that's the first carrier to carrier, because both sides had carriers.
Yeah.
I think the British had carriers, the Germans were working on carriers, but they didn't really have it. And carriers really weren't a thing in Europe because, I mean, that's all land.
Yeah, they didn't have the
and,
water.
you know, like, you know, it's a
Yeah.
whole different environment out in
Yeah.
the Pacific, you know?
Japan and the U.S. are way different location-wise.
Well, I mean, there's no
everything.
land, you know,
Yeah,
and everything, you know, island hopping campaign and all that stuff.
You don't need a
so.
carrier to cross the to get to England, you know. That's
Yeah.
not what you need.
No. So, 1940 as well, thousands of Paris students laid a wreath at the grave of the unknown soldier. That's cool.
Yeah.
40 as well, and this one I really like, Willys unveiled its general purpose vehicle, the Jeep, the Willys Jeep.
Yeah.
You know, good old Willys Jeep.
Yeah, it was huge in the
And
war.
what's really interesting is that, like, it could take one man about 5 minutes to build that thing. It's like so simple, so uncomplicated, you know.
And and out in the field when they had during the war, really easy to fix.
Well, yeah, well, exactly. You know, they airdropped them in a box. You know, like I've seen a video on it. Like they came in this box like an IKEA package. You know, and people knew how to do things mechanically back then. You know, like you grew up on your dad's farm or whatever, and then every now and then you go to school and. You know, so they get this box, they open it up, and, you know, this goes here, this goes 5 minutes later, they got a Jeep, away they go. You know, freaking phenomenal. 1940 as well, during World War II, the German auxiliary cruiser Atlantis captured top secret British mail from the Automaton, forwarding it to Japan. Uh-oh, that's not good. Got some hands on our intel.
Yeah.
1942, 745 French Jews deported to Auschwitz. Yeah. 42 as well, Germany completed its World War II occupation of France. And 42 as well, Jews in the Free Zone of France ordered to wear a yellow Star of David. So in occupied France, you know, the mark and all that stuff. And then we also have transport number 45 departed with French Jews to Nazi Germany. I'm wondering if that ties in with the Auschwitz thing, although I think Auschwitz was actually in Austria. I'm not sure. I don't think Auschwitz is in Germany.
No?
No.
I just assumed it was.
Well,
I don't know. I just as an assumption.
Where is Auschwitz? Hold on a second. Auschwitz is a dark thing to be looking up. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I know what it was. Auschwitz, Birkenau. Auschwitz location. I guess that's what we gotta look up here. Okay. Poland.
Oh.
Poland. It was in Poland. Okay, I think that's what it says here. Something about Polish. So, but I know it wasn't in Germany. Anyway, let's see. Moving on up to, we also have a lot of 42s here. During World War II, British-led Allied forces defeated Erwin Rommel's German and Italian army panzers in the Second Battle of El Alamein, North Africa, helping to secure the Suez Canal.
There you go.
That is massive.
That was really big.
Yeah.
Really, really big.
Thank you, Patton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you defeated the Desert Fox. Oh, you're no longer useful to us. Okay, bye, Patton.
Yeah.
Freaking assholes. 42, they should have listened to him. Stupid Monty. Operation Market Garden was a tragic,
Well, they had Monty on a damn pedestal, and then he had all the generals here.
Yep.
Including Eisenhower.
That guy's a weasel.
At least Eisenhower went along with it.
Yeah. In 1942 as well, the Turkish parliament passed the Varlık Vergisi, a capital tax mostly levied on non-Muslim citizens, with the unofficial aim to inflict financial ruin on them and end their prominence in the country's economy. Oh, but they're misunderstood. Yeah, as they like to say to the asylum seekers these days. Yeah, no, everybody's evil. So, 1943, New York Yankees pitcher Spud Chandler won American League MVP. St. Louis Cardinals outfielder Stan Musial won National League MVP. All right.
Stan Musial back in 43?
Yeah, won the NL MVP.
Huh. Didn't know we went that far back.
Well, that's why I put it in. Yeah, I had a feeling, like you'd like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got that one. 44. New York Rangers defeated the Detroit Red Wings 5-2 to end NHL record 25-game winless streak 0-21-4. Wow. Then they finally lost. 46. New York Knicks played their first Basketball Association of America, the BAA, home game at Madison Square Garden. Lost 78-68 to Chicago Stags in overtime.
So that's not the NBA yet.
No. The Basketball Association of America, the
Yeah.
Yeah. 54, publication of The Two Towers, the second volume of Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, by George Allen and Unwin in London. All right, big books. Well, not physically big, but culturally massive. The Lord of the Rings trilogy and all that stuff. 57, demolition began on Cable Car Barn at Californian High, San Francisco. So, where the cable cars, I guess, were stored in the barn. I guess they needed an upgraded facility or something,
I have no idea.
Have you seen, like, the intricacy of all the cables they have under?
Yeah,
it is wild down there.
You can get off the cable car and go in and check out the with the big rollers and all that. They're all working.
It's crazy to think, like, under the entire city, there's all that mechanism going on.
Yeah. Well, not the entire city, but a portion of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but then,
the entire city at the time.
But with the subway, with the power, with the water, with the sewage, I mean, like, like, it is wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, New York, there's so much crap under the ground that they routinely find things that are undocumented. There's so much crap. It just gets lost.
I believe that.
So, 57, Sun Records released single Great Balls of Fire by Jerry Lee Lewis, selling 1 million copies in the first 10 days.
Okay, I was going to say that's got to be in the 50s, right?
That's
57, yeah.
Yeah. 1959, first episode of Jay Ward's cartoon series Rocky and His Friends, featuring Rocket Jay, Rocky Squirrel, and Bullwinkle Jay Moose, aired on NBC. Yeah.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
1959, Seal Stadium, a minor league baseball park and temporary home of MLB Giants in San Francisco, California, was demolished. That's when they got rid of that.
Oh, the Giants moved from New York when the Dodgers moved from Brooklyn. We came to LA, they went to San Francisco, and they played in a minor league ballpark till their their stadium was built. Candlestick.
Now, this is a term that you used to enjoy when I was a kid. 1961, Catch-22 by Joseph Heller was published by Simon & Schuster in New York. You know the whole Catch-22 thing? Like, here's your Catch-22. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
61, adulterous couple rode a dung cart through Staphorst, Netherlands. Okay, that's an interesting thing to document.
That's weird.
No.
Really wanted to know that today.
1961, the city of Stalingrad was renamed Volograd.
or
What?
Volgograd. Oh yeah, well Stalingrad, Leningrad, Volgograd, it's same city. It's gone through a name change like 5, 6 some odd times.
Volgograd? I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's part of the de-Stalinization.
Yeah. No, absolutely
No.
right.
And Stalingrad, it was called Stalingrad, during World War II, and stuff. But before that, it was known as Leningrad, and Stalin changed it from that because he was doing de-Leninization.
Yeah.
Because 61, a mob of Congolese soldiers murdered/massacred 13 Italian Air Force servicemen deployed to the Congo as part of the UN peacekeeping force in Kindu. Well, that's not good. So. 61 as well, Stalinist anti-party group Molotov, Malenkov, and Kaganoshovich expelled from USSR's Communist Party for opposing liberalization. So that's when we all know Molotov, Malenkov. In the movie Death of Stalin, they came back.
Really?
Yeah, they're actually they're just days away from getting themselves rounded up during the Great Purge. 62, Kuwait's National Assembly ratified the Constitution of Kuwait. All right, that's good.
Yeah.
65, Southern Rhodesia's Prime Minister Ian Smith signed unilateral declaration of independence, then declaring the colony independent as the unrecognized state of Rhodesia. Cool. So happy birthday, Rhodesia. 66, Gemini 12 carrying Lovell and Aldrin launched by NASA for a 4-day flight. So just some space mission right there. 66, Methodist Church and Evangelical United Brethren Church united as United Methodist Church USA. So if you're part of them, or either one of these, here's some history for you guys. 67, during the Vietnam War, in a propaganda ceremony in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, 3 U.S. prisoners of war were released by the Viet Cong and turned over to New Left anti-war activist Tom Hayden. Does that name ring any bells, Tom Hayden?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely does. I think he ended up being the mayor of Santa Monica, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh. Well, all right then. 68, the Maldives in the Indian Ocean became a republic. All right. Pretty cool. I've heard about the Maldives before.
Yeah.
68, during the Vietnam War, Operation Commando Hunt initiated. The goal was to interdict men and supplies on the Ho Chi Minh Trail through Laos into South Vietnam. And interdict, I looked it up, it means like to restrict, to prohibit, and all that stuff. And I wonder if that was part of when we were cloud seeding, because this is the Ho Chi Minh Trail,
Right.
and they went into Cambodia and Laos and all that stuff because they didn't abide by geopolitics, but our army did. So we couldn't go in there. So we just created the monsoon to mud them out, and that didn't work, because humanity, once it gets focused, where there's a will, there's a way. You cannot stop people from doing what they want. 1969, you're probably going to get a chuckle out this. Your friend Jim Morrison arrested on an airplane by the FBI for drunkenness.
No, that doesn't surprise me. Never heard that one, but it doesn't surprise me.
72, Dow Jones Industrial Average moved above 1,000 for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now we're at 44,000.
Yikes. 72, Vietnamization during the Vietnam War. The United States Army turned over the massive Long Binh military base to South Vietnam. And then they lost it. 75, Angola gained independence from Portugal. This is their national day. All right. So, we have a lot of, things getting independence, constitutions, and republics. And, 75, Australian constitutional crisis of 1975. Australian Governor General Sir John Kerr dismissed the government of Gough Whitlam, who was the first elected Prime Minister to be removed in 200 years. Then he went on to appoint Malcolm Fraser as caretaker Prime Minister and announced a general election to be held in early December. So something crazy was happening.
Sounds dirty to me, and I could be all wrong, but there's some dirt slinging there.
Well, I think the dirt happened before, and that's why all this is like...
the removal part is what I was talking about.
Well,
I have no idea, and it might be totally ridiculous.
This is the constitutional crisis of 1975, and we're late in the year, so I have a feeling that this guy who got overthrown was the dirty one. I don't know, though. I don't know Australian government history, so... But if anybody does, let us know in the comments section. And speaking of comments, do we have any activity here going on? Oh, wait, we do. Oh, hey, RMG, how you doing? Did my Steam freeze, or is it just the internet?
Maybe the stream froze. Got quite a bit of GameCube games this year. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, King has like he's been streaming on his side and all that stuff, and he's been getting his own people. RMG is one of our fans that he got.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I wonder if this. Oh, I guess it looks like the stream is frozen. Maybe, I'm not sure. We're still recording though, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway, moving on up, let's see here. 1975, James Bay and Northern Quebec Agreement, the first modern treaty signed between Quebec government and Grand Council of the Crees of Quebec and the Northern Quebec Inuit Association. All right. You know, between all the various things, because I'm seeing the desktop audio is not lighting up again, so I'm having all sorts of problems. I'm going to end the show here.
Okay.
Sorry to say.
Just about timed out anyway.
Yeah. But that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. You know, a lot of history has and continues to be made every day, and we can only bring you a portion of what, you know, we had. So, you know, check our sources for more. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day or try to at 11 in the morning Pacific Time, 12 noon Mountain, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We do have other shows, from history to news, movie reactions and reviews, gaming, videos and memes, Omni Kitchen, and everything else in between. On Talk Show, check the underbar. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander.
Golden Loon.
And we had King's Refuge and Alice in the participation / live studio audience today. And of course, you viewer are you. And until you catch us next time, whenever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!